a second, guys. One second.
What up?
We've got to give a shout out to South Nashville Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Friend and supporter, show and proof. Also, the longest running sponsor of I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast.
Absolutely. Look, man, South Nashville Heating and Cooling, where quality and craftsmanship come together. They've been doing this since 1985. That's almost 40 years of service. Expert designs, quality installations, superior service.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tell me.
I feel confident in the fact that South Nashville Heating and Cooling will keep me warm in the winter.
For sure.
It'll keep me cool in the summer.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, these middle months, you'll be comfortable even then.
Absolutely, dude.
Y'all know the deal, man. South Nashville Heating and Cooling. We love those guys. Y'all see the name. Y'all see the number. Tap in.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Always.
It's I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast, man. We're back like we don't stop, because trust us, we never do. All we do is work, and y'all know me.
Fuck you, Squinch.
That's right, R.I.P.
Whizzle fizzle.
Forever plus a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
With me as usual, the gray-headed goat himself, Mr.
ChatArmsTV.com.
Gray-headed Goat Volume 4, available now. Pressure! Lots of pressure!
Pressure like I can yell it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir, I do. Yeah, shout out Chatty Bobby, Chad Arms, Gray-headed Goat Volume 4, available now. We warned y'all last week. Chad hit you
Best
with
one
it.
yet.
It probably is, man. It's hard to say that, though, but it probably is. You know what I'm saying? Second single dropped last week with the Round the Way episode. We doubled back, though, and hit y'all with this Gray-headed Goat series regularly. But when we do, we always try to sit down and give you the inside scoop about some of these records and how they happened from the man himself. So, with that being said, we're not going to break a tradition on the fourth round. That'd be stupid.
Facts.
So, expect one of these every time a Gray-headed Goat volume drops. But, yeah, number 4, available now. What color are we? Green?
Green, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the green Gray-headed
I
Goat.
got an announcement I'm going to make today about the gray-headed goats, too.
You might as well.
Yeah.
You want to say it for the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. After
Okay.
we talk, yeah.
Stay tuned to the end of the episode for an announcement about the Gray-headed Goat series. The green one. Sooner or later, though, there's going to be so many of these, or not so many of these, but I think in the future they're going to be referenced to by the color and not the volume. I said it here first.
Yeah.
I'm predicting the future. Like The Simpsons.
Predicting the future.
I'm predicting the future. Okay, yeah. Y'all know why we're here. Gray-headed Goat, Volume 4, available now. If you ain't got it, get the fuck out of here. Go get it and then come back. Fuck out of here. Chatty, the first of 2025. He promised y'all within the first 10 days of 2025, this being the 10th day of January of 2025, you would have Gray-headed Goat Volume 4. Another 10 tracks of bangers and mash.
Yeah, it's my favorite one of the gray-headed goats. It's probably not even close, I don't think. I think
Wow.
It's I love all four of them, obviously, but
Me too.
this one hits different to me. I think it's going to hit different with a lot of people.
Well, let's get it going, man. How does it hit different out the gate? Track number 1.
Yeah, so track number 1 is a track. It's just an intro track, me rapping. It's just a solo track. It's called Kitchen. It's produced by a dude named G Nasty. So this is a guy I've never worked with. He was a guy that I'm trying to think how I even found out about his beats. I want to say he messaged me on Instagram or something. I found out about him on Instagram. He sent me his BeatStars page, and he had a handful of beats, but there was one on there in particular I really liked. So I bought it. And he's like a relatively unknown producer, you know what I'm saying?
Dope.
But it the first time I've had a placement with him on an album. So it sets the tone for 2025, I feel like. Just in a really aggressive like rap intro, you know what I'm saying?
Big facts. I did not know that was the first time you worked with that producer. That's a inside baseball.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
just- it
not
was a
really. I
random
just didn't catch the wave, I guess.
Yeah, it was a random thing, but I love the way that one starts out. It's it's 2 minutes, it's short, it's to the point, but it's a great way to. I felt like for what we're fixing to do in 2025, dropping an album a month, right? The first song that is played on the first album of 2025 needs to be a tone setter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
And I feel like that's what this one does.
Okay, I love it. That's dope though, because you guys know Chad's got over 1,000 song catalog, and you guys know that over the years he kind of funnels and sticks to handfuls of producers. Like if you look at his, there's literally like a mix of like 3 to 4 per like era of Chad Arms. You know what I'm saying? That he continuously works with. So to hear a new name being thrown in the mix and it have such an impactful slot to where it is the first record you guys hear from Chatty on 2025 and the intro to Great Here to Go Volume 4, that speaks a lot. So shout out to him. What's his producer's name one more time?
G Nasty Music.
G Nasty Music. Shout out to that guy.
Shout out to him. But that's what we get started with on the album, and I think I'm going to start implementing these more often on projects. Track 2 is a remix to a song called Noises. Now, Noises dropped on the Live Forever album. Love the Noises track, especially my second verse on that. It's one of my favorite verses I've ever written.
There's a visual for this as well.
Yeah, we shot the visual for this. Squint shot the visual for this, and at his old crib at the garage with a
total green screen. Man, that visual, I still one of my favorites to this day. Honestly,
yeah. I love that record, and the Noises remix. I kept my second verse on it, and I got Jam Wayne to do the first verse because I wanted to do. Me and Jam have done 2 songs together that have been released, and they're like aggressive rap records, right? Well, I wanted to do some deep thought type stuff with Jam because that's my favorite stuff he does, like this one he did with Tin Man on Tin Man's album.
And in real time, first week of January, when you guys are getting this, the 10th, some of the later releases from Jambo have been like more serious records.
Absolutely, yeah.
But they hit just as hard. A big fan of Jam Wayne. Most of us here on the channel are.
And obviously that's produced by Coop. Take off on him.
Shout out Coop, man. Google that guy.
Yeah, Coop is a legendary hip hop producer from Nashville.
Big facts.
He produced for a lot of Nashville's greats, and
big facts.
We always had a mutual respect for Coop, but I never got to work with him back in the day. Well, he doesn't even do music anymore. He's got a very successful job. He lives out of state, and I hit him up when I started recording a lot of music for the Live Forever project. And said, "Man, do you have any beats on a hard drive that never was used?" And he went searching, and he sent me a handful of beats. I found one. That's the Noises beat. So
there has been another Coop. Yeah, the Coop that was Coop Takeoff on them record Noises. I was going to say when I was referencing to another one, it was Noises, the original version of Noises. So.
Yeah, I've got a couple other beats from Coop that I haven't used yet. They'll probably get used for something.
Shout out Coop, man, stand up dude. He's always like Chad said. He's just a legend when it comes to like the Nashville hip hop timeline, so to speak, and he's such a dope dude. We've tried to get him here on the pod a couple times. It's always been through the holidays because, like Chad said, he lives out of state, but he does come back to Nashville during the holidays, and we hear from Coop every once in a while. We'd love to have him here. He knows that invite's always open, but regardless, I'm just trying to let you guys understand how great of a guy that guy is.
Coop's he's the man, dude.
Yeah,
and he's
really
a big fan of the show. He watches all the time, so.
Big facts.
And also, too, which Dub, I know I can say this because Dub's told me this multiple times. Dub is heavily inspired by Coop from back in the day. Dub has told me that Coop has always been a guy that he's looked up to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From a producer standpoint, and being able to mix and master the record that Coop produced, he thought that's
fun
really
facts. Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but Dub's a big fan of Coop's production from back in the day.
Yeah. Coop, a fun fact about Coop is that he used to be, if you guys are familiar with Mo, M-O-E, Mario Moore, used to play basketball for Vanderbilt, one of the original members of Top Dollar. He had a solo project, and Mo was like Coop's guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and vice versa. Like that, how you get like these Batman and Robin producer rapper combos. That was his, you know what I'm saying? That makes sense. Like a Nice and a B Howard or something like that, or you know what I'm talking about.
And Mo's album was so dope.
So dope.
He never really put it out.
Nope.
Like
it was dope as fuck.
Like hand to hand, but it never made streaming platforms.
That's how I got introduced to his music. And fun fact, that's how he ended up on my first album, Time for a Change. There's a record featuring MOE because of that.
And what's crazy about that is Mo and Styx.
Shout Styx is
came and got on my first mixtape I ever released officially. Yes. Something Special, the prequel, was 2004. Styx and Mo did a verse on a Dipset instrumental.
Dipset.
So I have a song with Mo and Styx from back then.
Love those guys.
And then Styx came through and got on an album that I dropped after that the next year, right after he did the Spring Bling BET freestyle stuff.
Shout Styx on Spring Bling. Golly, that's so old school.
Legendary Nashville rapper that is now one of the most successful realtors.
All facts. William Wilson.
So
name drop.
Shout out Styx, man.
Shout out Styx. And shout out Coop.
Yeah, but Noises remix, man, and look forward to, there will be other remixes from older songs sprinkled throughout these projects throughout the year. I'm thinking, so just stay tuned for that. I know people sometimes like that, and I never really do remixes like that, so it was cool to do that and still keep my second verse on it, and then just let Jam rock the first verse.
Yeah, it's not a traditional. That's not a traditional thing in reality. That's something that's rarely ever happened. But I love the fact that he's re-exploring these older records, older successful records at that. Noises was a big record, but I got to be honest. And for my scenario, Chatty snuck this one in on me. I didn't know nothing about this record till it was written, recorded, and on the final track list for Great to Go Volume 4. And when Chad supplies me the track list, I get them real early. You know what I'm saying? And this particular track list I had for Great to Go Volume 4 was only like 7 of the 10 records. And the Noises remix being one of the ones I did not have. And when Chad mentioned it to me verbally for the track list, etc., for Great to Go Volume 4, that's when I was like, what'd you just say? Like Noises, like the original Noises? Like it all started, it started making sense then. But I'm stoked for you guys to get a taste of that record as well. Available now. Keep going, Chatty.
So track 3 is obviously the one that's going crazy. Believe in Me with me and Blind Fury. Produced, mixed and mastered by Dub 3030.
3030.
In my 20 years of doing music, I've had interview clips that have went viral and done crazy numbers, but I've never had a song do what this one's already done. It's fucking crazy. It really is. 7 million views on Facebook and Instagram alone.
Shout y'all.
It's done almost probably another almost that much, 1 million on TikTok. It's done 250,000 on YouTube.
It's awesome, man. So proud of you, man.
Shout out to Fury, because me and Fury have been wanting to lock in on some music, and Fury's making beats now too, and he hit me up when I was telling everybody I was doing an album a month. He said, man, I want to lock in on some production for you and the Show and Prove guys. I'm making beats now. So he sent me a track to do a verse on for him, right? Mm-hmm. Which I did, and I think he'll put it on. It's like a remix to something he was doing. And then I sent him the Believe in Me beat, right? Mm-hmm. It's a beat I had from Dub for almost a year and a half. And fun fact about this beat, I sent this beat to King Ego.
Ooh, shout out Ego.
And Ego was like, man, let's do some like rap shit. So then we did the song that we did, Draw 4.
Okay.
The original idea that I had for me and Ego, I just sent him that dub beat, right? Yeah. And he was like, let's do something, you want to switch it up and do something different. So I sent him a few beats. He liked the one that we did for Draw 4. So I still had that beat available. I sent it to Fury, and like a day later, he sent me the hook and verse back, and I was like, bro, this is a big record. He's like, bro, that took me 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, bro, so I wrote my verse. It was one of those that came through quick, laid it, sent it back to Dub. And then we got the final mix back. I was like, this is going to be a big record. I didn't know it was going to. Fury called it in that behind the scenes footage I posted.
He did.
And
I love that clip too.
Yeah, it's just dope, bro. And then I didn't know it would do what it would do. It's getting shared. Shaq sharing it on his Instagram story is what blew it up, because as soon as Shaq did that on Instagram, Cedric the Entertainer commented, and then that's when the
celebrities fell in line.
That's when everybody started seeing it, because Shaq's got 36 million followers.
Yeah, it was like everybody's best friend followed the routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And then just the amount of people that have liked it, like Jaleel White, Urkel.
Shout out Urkel, bro.
There's so many. There's countless.
He's launched
people.
weed too. Finally.
Yeah, for sure. Purple Urkel.
Which he should have done that 10 years ago. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, shout out to Jaleel White. He's probably watching.
But it's just been crazy, the amount. And then like legends, like Houston legends, like Lil Kiki commenting on it.
Flex.
And like ESG and
that's insane,
Slim
bro.
Thug.
Insane.
Yeah, like that kind of shit is what hits different for me.
Tracy McGrady.
T-Mac, bro. Tracy McGrady, George Hill from the Indiana Pacers. There's
Rashad Evans. Emmanuel Lewis.
Fucking Webster, bro. Kel Mitchell from Kenan and Kel.
Ain't that insane though, bro?
It's like Rikishi. It's been crazy.
Rikishi. But the reach that like you said, like to
the rock scene
for sure. With the envisionment of like.
Try to envision it.
Was that a word?
No.
Well,
it sounds cool.
It did, right?
Envisioned is a word.
Envisioned. Well,
I don't think
how
envisionment is, but it's today it is.
With the level of you like knowing that was going to be a big record, and then Fury like openly saying before the visual was even out that it was going to be an impactful record. Mm-hmm. It hasn't missed at all, and just the wildfire it's created amongst those stars and celebrities we've mentioned just now is insane. But aside from that, like, it's still like without the viral nudge it got, or you know, without all that, it's still one of the dopest fucking records. It just, the way it came together, it's just a good fucking song, man. You can't miss with "Believe in Me." Available now. There's a visual for that. And it's available now on Great Had to Go Volume 4 as well.
Yeah, and like I'm just going through the list of people. I'm just seeing if I didn't miss any like big people, like Royce the 5'9".
God, come on, man, legend.
Okay, this is a great one for me, especially, and for Fury too. So you remember the Asian dude, battle rapper Jin?
Yeah,
MC Jin. So they retired him on 106 in Park. You know,
Rough
Fury
Rider.
went undefeated. Fury went undefeated several years later. They retired him, brought them both back to like have a cipher years later. Him showing love to it, that kind of shit was cool too. The Source magazine, Chico Bean, like it's crazy, dude.
It's insane, man.
It's wild, man. Sibo, you know, legendary West Coast rapper, just like Devin the Dude. So it's just been dope to see like the amount of.
It's just a true testament to the term "keep going." You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because like with Chad having over 1,000 song catalog, and that song particularly just being a very first collaborative effort with his friend Blind Fury. He's already announced there's a compilation or a joint album coming from Blind Fury and Chad Arms in March.
Stories, baby.
Coming soon. But it was, I don't want to say throwing shit against the wall and see what sticks, because that wasn't the scenario. Over the years, these guys have gotten they're obviously like fucking seasoned veterans now when it comes to this rap shit. They're not making shitty records no more. So like when you put two people like Chad Arms and Blind Fury in a room, even though it's a layup just in the creative aspect of it, the fact that the finished product came out with the impact it's had, all I can say is be ready for this GOATS album, because there's a little bit more thought process going into that. So there's no telling what these boys are going to come up with. But
shout out Fury, man. There's going to be a lot of content coming soon down the hatch. I'm going down there to recording our album, and we're going to shoot a ton of footage, freestyle footage for him, and
down
the life. Yeah, when he gets back up to Nashville, we'll make sure to get him on the pod. He's trying to lock all the way in with Show and Prove, like, for sure. He loves what we do. So
shout out Blind Fury.
Fury's one of the most legendary artists, and it's crazy to me the amount of love that has been shown. And we're spending a little longer on this song, but it's because it's such a big record, and we ain't got to talk about it on here. The fact that the amount of people that didn't even know Fury had been doing music this whole time, since BET. The amount of comments people are like, "Oh, good to see." So, like, he's been doing shit.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things
nonstop.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Never
he's
stop.
been doing country. He's been freestyling. He's been rapping.
Yeah,
he's released multiple albums, but
sure,
he's done stuff with Tech Nine. Him and Tech Nine.
Yeah, we've seen him in multiple scenarios over the years. Yeah. The fact, though, that people lose sight of it just because it's just crazy. That whole thought is just insane. But then I wish Fury was sitting here with us right now so he could double down on how impactful that song's been for his career currently.
Yeah,
because like I mean. Shout out Blind Fury. He's a fucking legend, and he's always been relevant to the people that were up to speed. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure he would be pretty appreciative of the fucking boost that his recognition has came. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm saying that in a positive way. But while it's helped you so much, and that's been like literally, we said it, like the most viral song of your career now. Yeah, I'm sure he would agree. I mean, same for him. You know, that song for both of y'all, y'all knew it was a dope record, knew it was going to hit, but the fact that the wildfire effect of it is just insane to me. But that goes to show y'all, listeners and watchers, or anyone fucking paying attention right now, that's the power of a fucking share. Because even though most of us in modern day society,
Shaq did it, bro.
Yeah, most of us in modern day society, we don't have blue checks. We don't have millions of followers. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have more than others. Like Chad, he's got 20 fucking thousand. Or, you know, like people we know or people that come sit in these chairs over here, some of them do have millions of followers. But when it comes to the smaller scale consumer, you sharing that amongst your 35 friends or 100 followers or 600 followers, you sharing that opens their eyes to that. And if they share it on top of that, I mean, it's just a trickle-down effect. I don't know where Shaq originally saw the Believe in Me record that led him to Chad Arms' page, that made him share that clip from Chad's page.
Well, I talked to Fury. Fury, he's a fan of Fury's. And Fury's met him years ago. Fury was in like playing in like a jazz club one night and Shaq walked in.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Okay.
So like Shaq's been a fan of Fury, and Shaq is known for supporting.
But Shaq follows Fury?
I don't know if he follows him, but he's aware of him, so that may be where he found it. But Shaq's shown love to Jam. He's shown love to Sierra.
Broadnax.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shaq shows love to independent artists, so it could have been a For You page situation or he saw it from Fury. You know
wherever the fuck he saw it.
Yeah, but that is what, just to show you, bro, I was at 13, just under 14,000 followers on Instagram for over a year.
Yeah,
right?
He's just at 20. Right?
I'm fixing to be at 30, bro. I've gained 16,000 followers on Instagram in 30 days. I'd only had 14,000 for 3 years. Facebook, I was at 26,000 followers on Facebook. I just hit 70,000 on Facebook in 30 days. So in 30 days, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the impact of the share, because now Facebook and Instagram are integrated with Meta. So everything's getting seen across platforms. So
all facts.
It's wild. So salute to everybody that showed love on it, man.
Yeah.
I know. I'm glad we got to talk about that record, the behind the record type stuff about it, because
that's what we need most from y'all in 2025. Though, keep sharing these bangers. When you like a record, don't just like it. Don't just download it. Take an extra little step and share that joint for us, man. No telling who may see it. No telling how far it may go. So I mean, all that shit. But thank y'all, and thank Shaq, and thank everybody else that's contributed to the exposure of the Believe in Me record with Blind Fury. Available now. Gray Headed Goat Volume 4.
Absolutely. And track 4 is the song that we talked about last week that came out. Me and T and Grizzly.
I got it out the mud.
Out the mud, Round the Way, produced by Dub 3030.
30.
This is the only record on the album that's not mixed and mastered by Dub.
Fun fact.
Ego just mixed and mastered this one. It sounds fire too. It's just
Ego. He
recorded Grizzly's hook and verse to it at their studio. So I just sent him my verse and he mixed and mastered and made it sound fire. But
yeah, it just made more sense.
Yeah, I love how that record's, you know.
Me too. I love that song
in general, but I'm just glad to see Grizz is starting to really climb up the ranks, man. He's starting to gain followers and listeners, and
is, man.
He's super dope. And shout out to them guys for working, him and that whole camp, him, Ego, and Joy Band, and all those
facts.
Guys.
All those guys are amazing. But yeah, like you said, dude, I'm glad to see Grizz really getting some motion. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a super talented individual, and he's contributed to so many upcoming records that you guys are going to hear from Show and Prove. We talked about it recently on the what was that episode?
Round the Way episode
about how much upcoming records are coming with collaborating efforts from T and Grizzly. So
yeah, facts,
and Ego as well. So just stay tuned, man. We're working
100%, man. So and we moved to track 5 at the halfway point of the album. It's a solo song called Elevate. I almost did it like as an intermission. It's just a 2-verse rap song. You know, I mean, rapsongs.com. But this is another one that I've had from Dub for 2 or 3 years with a fire-ass 80s vibe sample for a hook. And I knew it was going to get used for 10 other different things, and it never did. Mm-hmm. And when I was putting this album together, there was another song that I was planning on putting on this album.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen in time. So I needed to – so I was looking through my beats, and I was like, let me go ahead and just record a solo track and throw it on there, and that's how this worked.
Flex.
But I love this record. I love the bars that I say and that I go through on this record. It's just a dope it's like a real ass song, but it's also bar heavy too, and it's got a dope sample. Yeah. It's almost like a Push It to the Limit, Scarface type vibe. But shout out Dub, he killed the sample.
I don't know what the was, but
yeah,
shout Push It to the Limit. Shout out to Elevate.
And this next one, bro. Hopefully we'll get to shoot a video for this, but I know we're gonna get some short form content. This is me and 501 Bryce, No End.
Shout out 501 Bryce, man. That kid is fucking killing it, dude.
Roof, dog. You talk about a climb, dog.
Hang on, pause. If you guys are unaware who we're speaking of, this is the guy that's featured on Counting Me Out with Chad Arms. Counting Me Out featuring 501 Bryce. But Bryce, like Chad's saying, is on a fucking tear. The kid can't miss. Yeah, shout out Bryce, man.
Yeah, he's been killing it lately, man. And I like this record more than I like Counting Me Out. This is actually produced by...
I love this record.
Me too. This is produced by Killa on the beat.
Killa got to pull up, man.
We gotta set that for sure. Up. He's the chicken man, dude. He's managing like 3 Wingstops right now, bro.
For real?
He's
I
getting
love Wingstop. I wonder if he's out my way.
I don't know.
We got a link, Killa.
But shout out Killa, man. Killer, I love this beat. I love this record. This is another one that I sent Bryce. So fun fact with Bryce, I sent him 4 or 5 beats, right?
Yeah.
It was the Counting Me Out record, or that ended up being the Counting Me Out record. It was this record for No End, and then I sent him another one that he's just going to use for a solo record of his. I was like, just, you know what I mean? So you doing these features for me, I'll just keep this one for you. So this one, it's got such a smooth vibe to it. And Bryce did the hook and verse, and I did the second verse on it.
So far.
I love it, bro. I love the whole vibe of the record. But y'all would be seeing some shorts from that. I know he's going to record some shorts from him, and we'll blend them together.
Bryce is killing it right now. Y'all check him out, man. 501 Bryce.
Yeah, because he's super busy, and I'm super busy, and he's about 6-7 hours from me, so it's kind of tough getting down there. But
I ain't met the kid yet. I'm a huge fan, man. I've already reached out. I've talked to him a few times via DM or whatever, but yeah, he's a super talented dude. He's on his fucking way. If you're unfamiliar, tap the fuck in, because it won't. I promise y'all, if you miss the Counting Me Out joint and you're just catching wind on Great Headed Goat Volume 4, if you just take a moment and tap into some of his like current releases solo or like some other collaborative efforts he has floating around the internet right now, the kid don't fucking miss. Yeah, shout out 501 Bryce, man. The kid's killing it.
He'll be featured on a lot of the projects from me in
All
2025.
facts.
So just stay tuned for that. The next record is another one that I did not expect to end up being what it was, and it's a song featuring Cowboy Killer from Slamerican.
Shout out Cowboy Killer.
And it is called Not Around. It's produced, mixed and mastered by Dub 3030.
30.
And this record is fire. So I hate that I didn't get to come and do the episode with y'all when Cowboy Killer was
Shout
here.
out Cowboy.
But I told him we were going to link on some music and an interview at some point. We haven't been able to link in person. But when I was doing these projects, getting these projects mapped out, I sent him a couple beats. He liked one of the ones of Dubs that I sent. A few days later, he sent me back a scratch hook and verse, and it's fucking
bananas,
like fire. Big record feel.
Yeah.
And it's the record that you hear, and it's one that I hope that we get some visual content for.
Yep.
Even if it's short form, hopefully a full music video, but if not, we'll at least get some shorts.
Fire ass record. I don't remember the GFL Cowboy Cowboy Killer. I don't remember the name of the episode, but if you're unfamiliar, tap the fuck in. That kid's killing it. He's currently in a situation with Slamerican, one of Yellow Wolf's artists, and audio wise, I've said it a million times on the pod. I even said it with him here. He sounds just like Yellow Wolf to a degree, but it still separates himself from that. But he was raised on that shit, and super proud of how that guy's kind of developing over there at Slamerican.
Facts, dude. Shout out Cowboy Killer.
But I'm so glad him and Chatty got a record together, because like Chad said, Chad unfortunately missed out on that opportunity when Cowboy pulled up over here for the pod. And fast forward to now, I've heard this record through the draft stages to the finished product. And fun fact, I'll say it, I don't know if I'm supposed to, but a few episodes ago when we started talking about the release date for Great Headed Goat Volume 4, and Chad said that the second single was going to be announced soon, which ended up being Round the Way featuring T and Grizzly. Right? The one that he said he couldn't decide between was the GFL Cowboy record, was the Cowboy Killer record.
Yeah, well, I would love to put all 3 of them out as singles, but it's just the time.
We're just moving so fast.
Yeah, it's the time frame. But I do truly believe, and this album just came out today when we're shooting this, but I feel like this is going to be one of those records that's like people's top 3 of the album.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I'd have to listen.
The one with him, and then the other one you can there's a lot of different ones you can maybe slide in there as the third one, but I think those 2 are undeniable.
Yeah,
records.
if it's not number 3, it's number 4. But I'd have to run through the album real quick.
Yeah,
and because y'all have to understand, like most of this Volume 4 shit's a couple months old to me. Well, not a couple months. That's not accurate, but a little bit older. Like I'm listening to the newer shit now considerably, like behind the scenes, rather than these records, so I have to kind of refresh my memory. But I do know that's a monster fucking record.
No, facts, dude.
What number are we on?
We're on track 8 now, and this is a song called Politics, featuring a super dope up and coming artist out of Mississippi named Jaywalk, who's killing shit right now on the similar to 501 Bryce. Jaywalk started popping about 6-8 months ago. I found him through Bryce Bryce sharing him. And then he started doing like remixes. So he did a 50 Cent in the Club remix, but he did it in the truck. It was like country rap remixes, right?
Yeah.
They started taking off. He's done several of them. And then he's done some collabs with Poe. He's done some collabs with Bryce. He's done some collabs with me. And he's just kind of doing the same similar things that Bryce is doing, but just in his own way in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he's really starting to gain some traction. He's a super good dude, hardworking guy.
Yeah.
He's probably He's young.
Yeah.
He's not as young as Bryce, but he's probably in his late 20s.
All facts. Chad put me when Chad told me about the feature. He sent me the initial record. I heard the record, and then I kind of scratched the surface and went down a little rabbit hole to find out more because Chad gave me the whole spiel like he just did y'all. The affiliation with Bryce or just Bryce's initial shares putting Chad on dude's music, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And I tapped in, and he's got it. Same story, different book. You know what I mean?
He's dope, bro.
But it's just like Bryce. It's the same scenario. When Chad puts me on artists for the first time, I have to listen. You know what I'm saying? Because Chad knows over the course of our 20-plus year friendship and partnership with Show and Prove, like, Chad knows. You know what I mean? And he also knows that I'm going to fucking be the toughest critic, that crown that I love wearing. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell him if it's trash or if I think it's personally trash, what the fuck ever. But when Chad gives me a rapper, bro, 9 times out of 10, that shit's slapping. And Bryce was a perfect example, but leaning into the jaywalk discussion, same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
shout out to those guys, man.
Shout out to them guys, man. And keep doing what y'all doing. And me and Jaywalk are gonna do more stuff together too. I got a record I'm doing with him for one of his projects or mixtapes or something.
Dope.
But I'll be getting him
Mississippi, right?
Yeah, Mississippi. Yeah.
Shout Mississippi.
Track 9 is a track called Bounce featuring Marcotic.
Shout Marcotic.
It's produced by Dub. Mixed mastered by Dub. This is one that it's got like a Suicide Boys type vibe to it, which I've never really got to jump into, but I love those kind of beats. You know, they're just new age 3-6 Mafia style beats with the samples and shit.
Yeah.
And this is one that I had for a while. I had some ideas for different artists, and then I ended up going a different direction with it. So I just had this track with an open verse on it for a minute. Me and Marcotic have talked about doing something. I've done multiple songs for him for
I've witnessed 10 of these conversations too.
Yeah, and he kept telling me, man, if I keep telling him I was going to get him on something, I just needed to find something.
Yeah. We rock with Marcotic. He's a good kid.
Yeah, he shouts out Squints in the podcast in the verse too.
Big facts.
But it's a dope ass track, man. It's called Bounce. And just to kind of, I'm glad that song finally came out because I've been sitting on that verse for that, I don't know, about a year or something. But it turned out to be dope. And shout out to Marcotic, man, for getting on the project too.
Yeah, it's a good record. And shout out to Marcotic. We've watched Marcotic's career we've kind of watched the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the whole thing, but we've seen it as a closer observation over the past few years. And to see his progression and his confidence and everything else of Marcotic as an artist develop, it's been interesting to watch. But when I speak to Marcotic, it's always a good conversation, and his head's always in the right place and doing the right type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
no facts.
Shout out to Marcotic.
Shout out Marcotic. Always love with Marcotic.
He's got a new project out with Haystack, which is a total left fielder. Didn't see that coming at all. But if you're unfamiliar, that's one way you can tap in. I know him and Haystack currently have an album together.
No, yeah, shout out to that, man, and shout out to him. From Marcotic's always been
ready to work.
He's always been working. I mean, I've known him for about 4 years now, and he's been working the whole time. He just puts out albums, puts out singles, videos. You know what I'm saying? He's out and about.
And invest in himself and make sure he's putting the right shit out, man.
That's what you gotta do.
Smart kid, dude.
But
he's young as fuck too.
Yeah, he's like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, late 20s, I think.
He looks fucking 15.
He does. I can't believe he's as old as he was.
Bro, he's like early 30s, bro. I'm like, there's like.
I thought he was like super young, and then he told me how many kids he had. I think it was on the pod when he came on the pod a long time ago. He was on the podcast a long time ago. But yeah, shout out Marcotic, man.
Yeah, man. And wrapping up the album, man, we got a song called "Walking on Water," which is one of my favorites, featuring Kid Ziggy.
Shout out Kid Ziggy.
Another one produced, mixed, and mastered by Dub. So Dub produced 6 of the 10 records, and he mixed and mastered 9 of the 10 records. This was Dub was very hands-on with Volume 4, like more than the other 3. He's done some here and there. He's mixed and mastered most all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's been here and there, but like this one, he was the most involved in Volume 4.
Yeah. Shout out Dub.
This is another one. This beat I had probably 3 years.
Wow.
I got it in 2022, early 2022 from Dub. And it's one that I love the beat. I just didn't know what the heck I was going to do to it. I tried. So the record that I did on Live Forever with me, Scotty Broadway, and Twack, Make It Home, right?
Yeah.
Make It Home, I wrote that hook on that beat, on the Walking on Water beat.
Okay, fun facts.
And
These
then,
are great.
Yeah,
Inside baseball.
And then when I found another beat, I got another beat from Dub later. It worked better for that. So I was like, Broadway, will you sing this hook on the? That's how that came about.
Gotcha.
But it was originally written to the Walking on Water beat. So I sent the beat to Ziggy. Ziggy I met at South Fork Music and Mudfest in 2024 in Taylorville.
Yes.
Ziggy's actually from the Illinois area, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then I found out about him then, but I'd seen him with Kingery. He was performing with Kingery.
Facts.
And then I started seeing him working with the homies Joe Tyler, Ego,
All facts.
Joy Band, everything.
I witnessed the same.
Yeah, so I sent him some beats, man, and he did that hook, and I love this record, bro.
I do too.
It's a great one to end the album on.
Kid Ziggy will most definitely be on the podcast in 2025. I've spoke to him numerous times, and in reality, the story that Chad just mentioned, where he met him at Taylorville, I was on that trip, and I remember we went on after Ziggy and Kingery and them, and I remember not knowing who Ziggy was or his or how much music he had out. I didn't know shit about him. And I know Kingery very well, and Kingery showed up to rock the stage with Ziggy, right? So when Kingery shows up, I'm like, oh shit, my guy Kingery, how you doing? Blah blah blah. And he was there for Ziggy to perform with Ziggy. So then I literally seen Ziggy perform. First time I ever heard him do anything. I watched him perform at Taylorville.
Yeah,
killed it. Just a really dope set. Like, he's a very talented kid. He's a grown man, but a really talented individual.
What's in his name, so you can get away.
Right, there you go. But I specifically, and hopefully Kid Ziggy can vouch for this and remembers this, but when they came off stage, I beelined to Kid Ziggy because I knew the other guys that were on stage with him. I just didn't know Ziggy. And I went straight up to Ziggy and I shook his hand or dapped him up or whatever and told him he was a super talented person. Just keep going. Don't even know who the fuck he probably didn't know who the fuck I was at the time. But I remember specifically doing that. And then after we performed, I think that's when we initially finally met and chopped it up or whatever. And we spoke to him about getting on the pod there in Taylorville because we were potted up there in Taylorville, but it just didn't happen. We were just, with Chad and the guys performing that weekend, it was fucking pandemonium.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of work done, but unfortunately didn't get to sit down with Ziggy. But since then, I've fortunately enough, Chad's been able to work up a collaborative effort, and I've spoke to him plenty of times about being on the pod, and that's coming soon. But he's in Illinois, so whenever he comes back to the Ville to work or record or to collaborate with Chad, he'll be here.
Fact, shout out Ziggy, and yeah, man. So great to go for, man. Like I said, personally, it's my favorite of the four so far. Y'all can form y'all's own opinion. I just appreciate all the support. We had more pre-saves for this one than I've had for any of them. It's almost
flex.
like 2 or 3 times
progression,
more.
Man.
It's all about progression, man. That's what it's about, man. Artists that are frustrated about maybe not being where they want to be. You just got to be consistent, man. You
have to,
and you got to make sure what you're putting out is quality. You can be consistent, but if you're putting consistent mediocrity out there, then it's not going to work. You got to level up, and normally you will if you're consistent. You know what I'm saying? If you're consistent and willing to learn and take criticism and advice, a lot of the times if you're to a certain talent level, you can improve.
Facts.
But if you're not consistent, man, that's a key point for it.
Got to keep working, man.
And that I'm prime example of that, because perfect example,
bro.
Great. As long as I've been doing music, I haven't been consistently like I'm doing now. It's maybe 1 album a year, 2 albums a year, whatever, because I'm trying to spread myself thin between 30 other things. I put out Gray Headed Goat 1 in July 26th. Volume 2 was September 20th, and Volume 3 was November 15th. Volume 4 was January 10th. So in 8 months, I put out 4 albums, right? And my viewership, listenership has almost quadrupled, right? And a lot of it is because of the consistency factor. And it's great quality stuff too, I know, but it's like,
what's the longevity you've built into your career as well? Yeah. Like, because not to mention that, these last 4 albums, or everything since Live Forever, has been a complete different trajectory for Chad. Like, ever since Live Forever, like, it's just been progressively building.
That was the breakout record.
Getting bigger. But 20 years before that, it was everything but. You know what I'm saying? Like like you said, like the consistency wasn't what it is now, etc. But it's not just about that, because you've sharpened these darts to where they'll fucking pierce anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the GOAT now, bro. So like the 20 years of fucking frustration and quitting a couple times and all that. Fast forward 20 years, and now you're putting out a not just an album every other month, but a dope ass project, a project with collaborative efforts that everyone can appreciate just because of the fan bases involved or the regional effects that these individual artists may have. Like the reach is there. The celebrities are seeing it. The world is finally fucking waking up to this show and prove shit. But it's led by you, Bubba, and just the consistency you've been able to provide over the past 3 years really is just insane. Not just from these gray-headed goats, but just once you got back on that saddle, bro, it's just been full steam ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the best thing I could ever ask to be a part of, but yeah, it's the most exciting thing we could have ever asked for.
Yeah, it's about time, bro.
It's about time.
It's about time, and I know everything happens when it's supposed to, but it's happening now, so we're just going to keep rolling with it and see where this thing goes. What I was going to say at the beginning of the episode, my plans, I'm in dropping an album a month, right, for 2025. My plans were to do a Gray-Headed Goat volume of Gray-Headed Goat installment every 2 months. I'm not doing that. I'm going to do volume 4 drops now. It's
today, available now.
I'm not going to drop volume 5 until December. Mm-hmm. We're going to end the year with volume 5. So all the albums that will be coming out between now and December will be collab albums with other artists. I may drop a solo album that's not Gray-Headed Goat. It'll just be called something else. But we're going to end the year with Gray-Headed Goat volume 5.
It's the first time y'all have heard that.
Yeah. And I've been thinking about it because I've got a lot of collab albums that I've been wanting to do that are going to happen now.
That are in sudden development.
Yeah, that are going to happen. There's been obviously the one with me and o.n.e.
Next month, February 7th.
Right. Bad Habits 2 with me and Leroy definitely will be one of those. But there are some other ones I'm not going to say anything about now other than the Fury one we've spoke about.
We spoke about the Fury one next. That's the March release.
So there's 3 collab albums you can for sure get this year is Bad Habits 2 with me and Leroy, Brady and Moss with me and One, and Goats Getting Old and Telling Stories with me and Fury.
Yeah. And I know of 4 or more.
Yeah, so just stay tuned for the other ones. But that's what we're going to do all throughout 2025.
Start the year with Gray-Headed Goat 4. We'll end it with 5. But in between, collaborative efforts from some of your favorites. Maybe a solo project, but all that's brand new news. So 2025 is our year. We've said it before. We've said it in the past. But I've said it since the beginning of December 2024. This shit's different. And with your guys' help, the continuous support, and just you see us moving, man, just take a look. Give a share. Share it with your friends, family, coworkers, whatever the fuck. Tap into the pod, share that. Tap into Chat Arms TV interviews, share them. The YouTubes are popping. o.n.e TV, his music, Leroy's music, Tin Man's music. Like there's so much. We're working so much and so consistently right now that we know you like something. Got to, you know what I mean? And we're just going to keep working and continuously applying pressure, man.
Yeah, and we're when this drops, we may be at it. We probably won't be yet, but we're fixing to hit 100,000 subscribers on Chat Arms TV.
We're probably there by now because this don't drop till the 10th. So I'm pretty confident you're there. Shout out Chat Arms.
To it, yeah.
If in real time when we're recording this, Chad hit 99,000 subs on YouTube. That is a fucking miraculous feat. Congratulations.
Yeah, so whenever this has been. We may be close to it, so salutes all you guys. We'll finally get that play button.
What are you at today? Just look real quick while we're signing off of here.
I'm at 99,069 subscribers.
Yeah, so we'll be there soon if we're not there already. But that plaque's on its way, Chatty. I'm so proud of you, dude. 2025 is yours and ours. Big Show and Prove. Y'all know what the fuck's going on. Tap the fuck in. We promise we're gonna keep working. But
hell yeah, y'all go get that Gray-Headed Goat Volume 4.
Volume 4 available now. Tap the fuck in. Links in the description below. I'm sitting with him himself. Gray-Headed Goat, Chad Arms, hardest working man in the Ville. Show and Prove be the team. Has been for a long time. It's IGSSTS.com, ChatArmsTV.com. Go get that merch. Chatty. Let's go.
Pow. Bitch, we got views.